Yeah, looks like we're live. I see it on the top of my screen.
Yeah.
Does it say anything on yours?
It's I'm on the other page. It says, okay, redirecting you to YouTube. It was loading.
Yeah, because it says meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Woohoo.
Hi.
I don't want it to double. It's sending me to the YouTube page. I don't want it to have us talking and getting double noise.
Right.
Yes, see, I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. Does it say anything on?
There we go. I had to mute us. See, I knew that was going to happen. All right. So welcome. It is Teatime Tuesday. I am Anna with Magic Yoga, and with us we have Lain with Anchorage Retreats in Michigan, and our Patreon member. Woohoo! What are you drinking today, Lain?
I had a lot of Earl Grey earlier, so now I'm in my ginger peach turmeric, one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, see, I'm actually drinking Earl Grey right now. It's like my pick-me-up, my clear my head kind of tea.
That's my favorite. My favorite, I almost said alcoholic. My favorite caffeinated tea is Earl Grey. Like sometimes I like Lady Grey because it's not as bitter, but I mean, it's still, that's my favorite.
Yeah. What got you into Earl Grey?
My sister, actually. She got me into all the tea things. She's a barista, and she started slowly getting me, like, for each Christmas, she'd get me like leaf tea. And I was like, I don't have a thing to do this for. So she got me one of those cool little pots that you put over your cup that it steeps it. And like, so she always is giving me all these cool tea things. So I'm like, I guess I should try this stuff. And then I was hooked because she got me this awesome oolong tea I used to have. And yeah, the Earl Grey that's her favorite too.
Yeah, it was actually a book that I was reading many years ago. Like, you know, when you're so influenced by everything you read and whatnot. So a character was drinking Earl Grey, and that was like years and years ago. And I was like, okay. And I never ever bought it, but then I was at a restaurant and they had it, and I was like, oh, I'll drink it. And after that, I was hooked. But as far as my herbals and stuff, it was like the Renaissance Festival, and I was smelling all of the teas, and I was just like, oh yeah, let's just try it. It smells great. I think it was a raspberry tea. And then after that was me. I was hooked on herbal teas. But I grew up, I mean, like I literally from drinking out of a baby bottle grew up on just black tea with milk. You know?
Oh, wow.
That was really good. Anyway, thank you for joining me again this week, Lain. It's always lovely.
Well, anytime I can drink tea not by myself, I'm all for. So
yes, virtual tree drinking. Woo! So we have gathered today because, as you know, it's the crazy world of COVID-19 right now. And if you're watching this from 10 years from now, it's crazy COVID-19 right now. So we've decided to talk a bit on positivity because I think we're week 3 of quarantine, and it's getting tough. It's been tough for some people from day one. So we just kind of wanted to share some tips and tricks, I guess, on staying positive. Some little things that we've been doing with friends and family, even maybe some mudras or mantras, if you're working with anything as well, Lain. So why don't you start us off? Because I want to know how your Zoom party went the other day.
It's the first time because I've been slowly trying to get all my friends and family onto Zoom so that I could see them more often. And I already live 3 hours away from everyone that I know. So in general, I was getting ready to do this anyway. So kind of worked out that now everybody's forced to do it. I see more of my people now virtually, which is like sweet. But yeah, so it was for Easter / my birthday, and we basically had a plan to play our game that we always play when we come together. It's called Sixes. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's an easy game. Like, a lot of people can play it, and it's not super involved, so you can still have a conversation with everybody. So my nieces and nephews, they blew up like each of our faces, and they were like the dealer table. So like they put my face like next to my cards so that I knew who was playing. So it was a mess, but it was fun, and we tried. It didn't work out. I think we got through 2 rounds, and then we're just like, can we just stop? This isn't great, because we weren't talking because we're like, wait, what are we doing? What, but it was still nice. We like afterwards we chilled, had a drink together, and had a good Easter for what it was worth. So
That's
I
great.
definitely think people should try to figure out stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I live in a whole other country compared to my family, as you know. So video chatting is not anything new for us. We do a lot of the Facebook and the little quirky faces and masks that you can put on. The kids love it. But it's definitely important. And it's funny that now that you can't see everybody that you haven't seen for weeks and months anyway, that now that you're told you can't do it, you want to do it, you know?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so rather than just kind of complaining about it or being like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how to do it, jump on the bandwagon. It's this is the one time you can. And there's Zooms and Facebook and Google Hangouts and just so much out there to kind of bring friends and family together. My daughter and my boys have a virtual birthday party coming up at the beginning of May. Chances are for my daughter's birthday, we will have to do something a little virtual as well. But you just kind of have to see the light, see the positivity of it. Does it suck that nobody's going to be at your house? Absolutely. But everybody's there in spirit. So that's all that matters.
Right. Yeah. And what this has actually pushed me to do is be more comfortable on a video, because I'm very like, don't look at me, blah, blah, blah. So this has really forced me, especially coming from wanting to, do my yoga practices and classes, and basically make content, to force me to do it instead
Yeah.
of being like, oh, I'll wait, nobody cares, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I would tell myself, like, you know what, that, one random Facebook friend, I might say something, they're like, oh, and make them feel better or teach them something. So I just have to keep telling myself, it's not necessarily, partially it is for myself, so that I feel like I have my, because I'm definitely an extrovert. So if I have my social stuff, like I need it. Like I need it to feel okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it's telling me like, hey, I'm doing something, instead of just sitting down and binging a bunch of TV, which I'm still doing that,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm making sure it's a little more balanced than I probably would have if I wasn't forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone.
Right. And, everybody is going to be different in that area. I spend a lot of time at home, but like you, I didn't get in front of the camera. I set up the YouTube, I had the Facebook, and I just sat on them. I had the Patreon page and I just sat on it. But because of this COVID, it was, like a kick up the bum. And I was like, all right, you know what? Let's do it, because there are people out there who want to connect, and I want to connect. Like you, I'm an extrovert. So I'm not doing this for the dollars. I'm not doing this for any other reason other than I need people to talk to. Come talk to me. Like, come
Connection. Right.
connection, love, like bring it in. Like
For
I will send virtual hugs, and I will, like, it's what I need. And it's what a lot of people need right now. So I don't want to say I'm thankful, because that's not the case, but it has opened doors, and kind of given me that push that I needed.
Right.
Like you, I started binge watching Netflix as well, and doing things a little differently. But I've also really enjoyed having this time home, because I've missed having the kids home, and I didn't realize that I missed having the kids home until they were home. Um, and I'm getting to spend all this extra quality time with my hubby, which is really nice. And I know that it's not so nice for some other people out there. But
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you never know how somebody's going to react to being forced into a certain situation that's out of their control. Most of the time, most humans don't like that.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
if you already had issues, like even just like mental issues or, relationship issues, it exacerbates it times 10 probably. So the type of practice of taking care of yourself is paramount now
yeah,
because you're probably in your stress zone more than you thought you would because you're at home. You think that that would be a place where you felt comfortable, but it's a different scenario all around because again, you're not choosing it. So
yeah.
you're kind of probably like, oh, what am I doing? So
Yeah. And then that's it. I mean, even for me, this is not my normal. I mean, my normal is get up and say goodbye to hubby and take the kids to school. And then I come home and I work and um, library trips, grocery trips, like that's my normal. But now my normal is deepening my practice even more. Um, and realizing how important it is to keep a positive routine. Now, don't get me wrong, I am pulling my hair out today and yesterday. As much as I love my children, they are certainly pushing the boundaries. Um, but it is important to keep a positive routine going. It is important to take those 5-minute meditations if that's all you want to do and can get in. They certainly help me throughout the day. So I guess what I'm trying to say is instead of just wallowing and just being like, oh my gosh, when is it going to end? And I can't do anything. Like, get up and go. Like, change something about your routine. Don't lay on the couch or lay on the bed or find something to do. And that's okay not to do something. But even when you're not doing something, be a little bit proactive about that. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't self wallow, don't self pity.
Mhm.
Um,
I agree completely because I problem with not having enough to do is boredom and
yeah,
also feeling bad about not doing the things you're not doing.
yeah,
So I think what I had to find was balance because like one day would be I have so much I want to get done and accomplish and I felt awesome. And then the next day I just wanted to sleep in bed for like an extra couple of hours. And I was beating myself up for it because I'm like, I need to keep to my routine. But
yeah.
sometimes you just have to slow down and not beat yourself up about it because otherwise it's a marathon. This is going to be a marathon, unfortunately. So it's just making sure that you're listening to your body and listening to your thoughts. Like if you're getting frazzled and stressed out because you have that to-do list that is not getting done, that's even worse than just trying to stay, go, 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 because you're just freaking yourself out and you're your own worst enemy at that point.
Absolutely, absolutely. And find alternatives, so for us right now, especially with my hubby, he's chomping on the bit to get to that Home Depot. Like, we've got garden work that needs to be done, we have housework that wants to be done, and it's like, no, stay home, like, keep your ass home. And so it can be stressful in that, like you said, you have this to-do list and your mind is go, go, go. Yeah, well, find something else, like that to-do list isn't going anywhere and Home Depot is not going anywhere. So find something else to do and put your energy into. Um, and, there's start diving into your creative side, start diving into maybe some online teachings that you have been wanting to do, or if you're somebody who wanted to explore yoga or tai chi or whatever you want, like, now's the time because everybody is diving in online and you can just kind of find that, again, community to connect with and
Mhm.
find a new passion to help you through.
Yeah. What I've been doing, like I said, with my extrovert needing social, whatever, I've been doing a tea time as well, twice a week, and trying to think of topics that I've been learning so that I can kind of let people know. But I told everybody on my last one, I was like, please tell me and show me what you can do. Like, this is the time. There's so much content Like if you ever felt scared about doing yoga, there's so much free content out there. And there's also really cheap live ones that you can be a part of now. So it's like these people are, especially in the service industry, who aren't essential, they don't have a lot of stuff going on right now, and they're probably going crazy because they're very creative people and they
Yeah.
want to help people and they're healers and that kind of thing. So it's like you have to, almost like with the artists in your life too, you have to give to the arts in order to keep our society a good society. So just, and when you see that somebody's doing something that you think is awesome online, tell them, let them know, even if it's not something that you can give money to, just like one positive comment or like a like, I'm like, wow, I actually affected somebody today, or even just for like 2 seconds, you know what I mean? Because then you're not just yelling into the void and hoping that people are paying attention. And it's
Yeah.
not even just that you need people to, but it's like, if you feel you're called to help people, even if it's like, hey, there's this cool craft I did with my kids, that could be a lifesaver to a random mom that's like, I am at wit's end. What do I do with my kids? So
Yep.
just use your talents and just put it out there, because we're not going to see each other anytime soon. And we
Yeah.
need to keep making and creating and being passionate about stuff.
You want to maybe share some of the things that you're doing to get yourself through it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm teaching my 2 yoga classes. I'm doing some random content, like I live on a beach. Sorry, but sorry, not sorry. But I'll randomly take videos of it just to be like, maybe somebody wants to see a pretty sunrise, whatever. But then, like you said, having a routine, even if it's lax a little bit, because you're giving yourself that flexibility, because why stress yourself out more?
Yeah.
But I mean, every single morning I wake up with my kid and I have my journals. I have multiple because I'm a little weird, but I have to do my journals like first thing. Like that's, I feel comfortable with it. I have my to-do list and my like fears and stuff. I let it go
Yeah.
and I can start my day. Another thing, I just, whenever I feel stressed out, I have a cup of tea. That's a very meditative experience for me. And
I
then
abuse
just
tea too
yeah.
much.
What was that?
I abuse tea too much for it to be a more meditative thing for me. So,
No,
but
I get it. Yeah, I mean, I have coffee for my wakey time, and tea is my meditation, and wine is my just knock myself out kind of thing. Like, okay, I need to go to sleep, which is probably not healthy. But so just making sure that I'm stopping in the middle of the day, looking around, not necessarily like stopping to meditate, but going outside in nature. That's been a major one, even though it was snowing today, which was annoying. But oh, Michigan.
Snowing today and what?
It was snowing, yeah, but flurries, but it was still just like, no, it's spring. But yeah, just stopping myself when I could feel myself reeling a little bit, and just being like, relax, it's okay. Like just let it go. I can't stop what's happening. I can only stop how it affects me.
Yeah,
So that's what I keep always telling myself throughout the day.
absolutely. Um, yeah, I mean, and that's all we really can do. Um, I would definitely recommend people that are in like being at home and driving everybody stir crazy. Naturally, I'm going to say, hey, dive into yoga, dive into meditation, dive into something creative, which is where I've been able to spend a lot of my time. I was making flashcards the other day, which was super fun and kind of inspired me. I was like, oh, I gotta make some other things. And then it was actually my children's online class. We had to make basically color in Easter eggs. I can't remember the official title of what they were learning now, but as I was doing it, I was like, this is really soothing and enjoyable. And again, sparking that creative side. So yeah, I mean, just kind of redirecting your energy and walking away from anything stressful right now, whether it's a project or a person or just a genuine situation. walk away, because again, just like everything else, it's going to be there when you come back, and taking care of yourself right now is most important. But I did want to share for my yogi practicing people 2 mudras that you could utilize in this time. And what's going on here? So last week's conversation, we obviously spoke about mantras. I don't think we really spoke about mudras, which I'm not going to get into for this right now. But mudras, along with your meditation, are obviously, I was going to say, like energy boosting, help deepen into your practice and manifest what it is you're trying to get. So for all my yogi practitioners out there, or my meditation practitioners out there, the Karana Mudra, which is your thumb and your ring finger. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was about to forget that. Not that it's that hard. And the rest of your, you can have, sometimes people have them bent in, the middle finger, but there's a lot of statues, Buddhist statues out there where they're straight.
Or they're like,
yes, exactly. Or, you can have them down like this, just all however you are comfortable where you're seated. I am not going to pretend to be a mudra expert, of course, but I feel like as long as your intention is there, then your messages are being well heard. But the Karana Mudra is a bringer of peace and comfort and security. And the other one was the Dahana Mudra, which is basically like cupping. So you're putting all your fingertips together and in your thumb like that. And this one is actually when you're sitting cross-legged, it's going to be rested in between the legs, so down towards the pelvic area. And that one expels negativity. Okay, so you're rooting, you're grounding, you're expelling negativity, which for me, when I'm practicing a general practice anyway, when I'm grounding, that's where my negative energy is going. It's going back into the earth and dispelling and goodbye. And like the positivity is coming through. This is like the feeling and the wash that I get. So when I found that mudra, I was like, this makes perfect sense in its positioning and where it's at. So, so I really wanted to share that. And, try and choose one that you're going to work with and focus on that with your meditation. And literally, you don't need to be complicated in your meditation. You can just, you're here for that reason, to expel negativity or to bring in peace and light. And just like a mantra, just repeat that and choose something to focus on. And it's a great way to start your day as well. So, you have anything to say on that, my dear?
Yeah, actually, with mudras and stuff, I've just recently gotten into that as I've been doing mantra. So, usually I'll just pick one where it's like, having at least, because I actually took an intro to Zen Buddhism class at the Detroit Zen Center months ago. But basically what the abbot always said was there's a lot of energy coming out of your thumbs constantly. And so you always just want to have some way, because they used to have almost the exact same kind of mudra, but this is kind of how they would sit and have it right by their stomach, by their belly button. Again, the same kind of thing where you're keeping your energy intact and stuff like that. So it's all connected, especially with all of the Asian religions and stuff like that. But he always would say, even when walking, just having that thumb hold in, because so much of your energy just flows through it. And that's what I'm always thinking about when I'm meditating. I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot. And it's just another piece if you need it. Like if you think it's too complicated, you don't need to use it, whatever. But that's the reason. And there's so many different, texts and sages that have tried to figure out how to best do certain things to help you. So if it comes to it where you're like, God, I really need to ground today, or I really need to let some stuff go, there's always a lot of stuff online that you can look up and find the right mudra / mantra to kind of make a cool marriage for that specific meditation practice that you're doing that day. And if it works for you, awesome, keep doing it. And if not, look at another one the next time. So that's what I'm kind of like, just kind of figuring out what feels good to me at the moment.
Yeah, there's actually lots of worksheets out there for figuring out your perfect mantra for you. And I'm actually kind of debating on like one for myself. So when I figure that out, I'll definitely share with you guys. But it's be interesting to go into a lot more depth. And actually, I think Deepa is going into that with her classes as well, discovering your perfect mantra. So yeah, maybe we can get her to share some tips and tricks there.
Yeah, she has a lot of knowledge. We could definitely tap into that. I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so basically, guys, just kind of keep doing you. Direct your energy into something creative, not literally, but something that is, you know, that sparks in you. Whether it's getting into exercise or painting or just walking or just anything, something that sparks a little light fire. But yeah, so take care of yourself and have faith. Like I don't mean that religiously, but have faith in science and technology, and that eventually everybody will kind of follow the rules, and we will all get back to our original normalcy pretty soon here.
Yep, and this too shall pass. Don't probably know when, but it will. It always gets better. Oh, yeah. It's fine. You know, just keep reminding yourself it always rights itself.
Yeah. Yeah, we really can't go anywhere but up. And I know it's super, super cheesy, but like I had said to you yesterday, Lain, you know, we are going to be the phoenix rising from the flames, from the ashes, and we're going to be butterflies coming from our cocoons. Like, I know it's super cheesy, but you'll just wait and see, you know, once this.
Yeah, the cheesiness doesn't bother me because it's good to visualize something beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, even if you think it's cheesy, your brain just went there. It literally made the phoenix in your head. So just imagine what you can do when you put your mind to something to get out of a certain mindset. It's so amazing what your brain can do for you. Just use it. You know, like imagine that butterfly. Whoa, like you're happy now because you saw a pretty butterfly in your brain. Like, awesome.
You're the butterfly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're Phoenix. Okay, not everybody else, you and what you're doing. So just keep going, just keep trucking. And if you're not, then find your community. You can join me at the Magic Yogis on Facebook. You can follow Lain at the Anchorage Retreats. I will put all her info down below. But yeah, I mean, just go out there and explore and find your people, find your tribe, your clan, your group. Just go out there and do it. All right.
Aho.
Yeah, aho, yes. It's been a while since I said that one. All right, Lain. Well, thank you very much for joining me again. It's so beautiful having you. Thank you.
Love you.
Yes, I love you too. And I will see you next week.
All right. Namaste.
Namaste.